In March, I walked into the range with that dumb confidence that gets people embarrassed. I've got my safe pistol, my little routine, already collecting credit before I earn it. Timer beeped. I rip the first string and it feels fine. Then I walk up and see the paper. Oh shit. That's the kind of target that makes you rethink what you trust. Wide hits, low hits, one I can't even defend. Camera catches me doing that fake head tilt like I'm analyzing when I'm just trying not to look stupid. I grab my comfort gun to save face. Same deal, flat, sluggish, nothing wrong, just nothing there. So I pick up a gun I usually dismiss, run the exact same drill, and it prints like it's trying to punish me. I say, I was wrong out loud, and I leave it in. And it isn't just that gun, it's how wrong I've been judging these things. I stopped at the shop I usually hit when I had time to kill and a bad habit to feed. I walked straight to the counter and said it like I already owned it. Let me see the Canik TP9 SFX rival. The guy behind the counter didn't do the normal salesman thing. He froze, looked at the case, then the back hallway, then back at me, like I'd said a name I wasn't supposed to say out loud. He leaned in and went low. People come back for this one. I gave him that half smile because dealers talked. He didn't smile back. I said I was buying. No questions. He shook his head once. I don't like selling my last piece. That annoyed me because, in my head, if it's that good, you shove it in my face. You don't hide it. He slid the rival out and set it down like it was evidence. I picked it up, ran it dry, one press, and that press felt cleaner than anything I'd touched that week. That was the snap. My safe gun didn't feel safe anymore. I looked up and said, all right, I was wrong. He nodded once, then dropped it. They don't come back to say thanks. I still bought it and walked out thinking it felt too eager. Great when I'm sharp, not so great when I'm not. I ran the Springfield Armory Echelon enough that I walked into a pistol class thinking it was the easiest win on this list. It always felt clean, simple. The kind of gun that makes you relax and relax usually turned into get sloppy the second the timer showed up. First drill went smooth, hits were there. Recoil tracked nice. I started thinking, all right, this writes itself. Then the instructor walked past, watched one rep, and didn't nod, didn't say a word. He just stared at my hands like he was waiting for something to show. I pushed the pace. That's when the little nothing detail showed up. My thumb rode the controls just enough that the gun's behavior changed under speed. Not every time. It's enough to break my rhythm and make me chase it. And the ugly part? I caught myself adjusting my grip mid-string to babysit the Echelon instead of running the drill. Guys behind me saw the target and thought, problem solved. The problem was, I solved it by compensating. That's what blew my mind. It looked perfect. Until pressure showed what I did to keep it perfect. And what came after that didn't ask me to compensate. It asked me to keep up. Brass was already all over the bench, and the target already looked pissed off at me. The CZ Shadow 2 Compact sat there like a polite little compact, and it started acting like a strict coach the second I tried to settle in. Not even speed. Not even push it. Just me trying to get a clean, calm first string. I pressed out, found the sights, and something felt off. Not broken, not loose. More like the gun demanded a grip I wasn't giving it. I tried to muscle past it anyway, because that's what I do when I don't want to admit I'm the problem. First shots went out, and the pattern on paper told on me immediately. Same drift, same ugly honesty. I adjusted a hair, then adjusted again, and now I'm not shooting. I'm bargaining. Tiny changes, hoping the gun agrees. That's when a range regular. I didn't even notice walking up, glanced at my hands, and kept moving. Didn't stop. Didn't coach. Just dropped one line like a verdict. You're negotiating with it. That hit me harder than the holes on the paper, because he was right. The Shadow 2 Compact didn't feel nice. It demanded commitment. And I didn't like how fast it exposed that. I didn't fix it. I just stopped arguing, packed it up, and grabbed something else like I was changing the subject. The hotspot showed up before the first stop sign. Little jab right at my belt line every time I sat down, like somebody taped a thumbtack under my shirt. I ignored it for 2 minutes. Then I did the first adjustment. Shirt tug, belt twist. That dumb little shuffle people do when something's wrong, but you don't want to admit it's wrong. It was the Walther PDP Full Size. And yeah, it shot great. That's what made it irritating. I ran errands and spent the whole time negotiating with my own waistline, leaning weird in the car, sitting half sideways at a light, trying not to print when I reached for something. Every time I got out, it did that same poke. And every time I told myself, quit being dramatic, it's fine. Then I caught my reflection in a window doing a casual shirt sweep that wasn't casual at all. By the third stop, I started doing that subtle check in public. Hand hovering near the grip. Quick touch, like I was making sure it hadn't moved, even though it hadn't. That's the problem. If a gun bugs me, I don't forget it exists. If I don't forget it exists, it steals attention. I believed shoots amazing automatically meant carry it. Nope. The PDP ran like a champ and still made me want it off my body. I got home annoyed because the gun didn't lose. Comfort did. Optics cuts and micro compacts ran 2026 like a disease. Everybody chased the newest plate, the newest dot, the newest. This changes everything. Then, the Beretta 92 FS landed in my hands and it felt like grabbing a VHS tape in a 4K world. And that's why it got dangerous. It started doing too much right. Smooth enough that I got annoyed at myself for even smiling. Somebody a lane over goes, man, that's a movie gun. Like I'm just playing dress up? Cool. Now I'm invested. I ran a clean string, and then I tried to run it like I ran everything else in 2026. Faster press out, tighter grip, same tempo. On the second rep, the sight dipped weird, like it didn't want to track the same way. The whole gun went one notch off. Not broken, not failing, just wrong enough to throw my timing off and make my next shot feel late. I paused with the muzzle down range, staring at it like it changed rules mid-sentence. That's what messed with my ranking. It could hang, and then it reminded me it was from a different era whenever it felt like it. I didn't fix it, I just stopped trusting it the same way. The next pistol didn't feel old at all, it felt like it wanted to fight. Late winter, slow weekday afternoon, one of those indoor range days where the place felt half asleep. Fans droned, lane lights washed everything gray, and I was already a few magazines in when the M&P 9 Shield Plus ended up in my hands. Middle of the session, not the first impressions part, the yeah, okay part. Target carrier whined out and back, and I treated the shield like a quick nod and move on. Then my buddy goes, let me try that for a minute. I handed it over casual, like it didn't matter. He racked it, settled, and I watched him through the lane divider like I was supervising. Bad move. He didn't do anything flashy. No speed guy nonsense. He just started landing cleaner strings than I was getting. Steady, controlled, irritatingly clean. Same lane, same target line, same distance. He didn't even rush to check the paper. Just ran another string like it was automatic. His cadence sounded calm, like the gun was a metronome. Tap, tap, tap. And I stood there listening to it like it was mocking me. That's when the mood changed. Not for him, for me. 10 minutes later, I took the Shield Plus back, and my rhythm felt off. Same gun, same hands, different head. I chased what I just watched, and it made me worse. Snatchy presses, tiny overcorrections, that stupid prove it energy. The gun didn't change. I did, and I couldn't get back to where I was. A few days ago, I walked into a shop in Austin. Very reputable place, always gets the latest stuff first. Clean counters, serious room. But this time, people weren't browsing. They were watching the case. I asked for the Staccato HD C4X, this $3,500 to almost $3,900 pistol, half expecting another expensive launch gun, living on hype. The guy behind the counter didn't pitch it, just pulled it out and set it down like I was already late. First thing that hit me, it didn't feel like a normal compact. It felt locked in, too settled, too sure of itself. I brought it up once, then again, expecting that first impression to cool off a little. It didn't. I only had a short window with it, just a few mags, but it didn't need time. First string in, it already felt flatter and more controlled than a gun that size had any right to feel. I pressed out again, expecting some rough edge to show up, and it never really did. That's the part I didn't like, because With a brand new gun at that price, you're supposed to leave with questions. I left with a bigger problem. It made sense too fast. I handed it back, and the guy behind me stepped up instantly, like he'd been waiting for the same confirmation. I still don't trust first impressions, but that one got in my head way too quickly. 10 glass bottles clinked in a cardboard case on my tailgate like evidence. That was the return. Last year, I handed my buddy the HKVP9 to test it for a week. I expected the normal thing. Give it back, say, yeah, it's fine, move on. Instead, he shows up, sets the beer down first, then places the VP9 on top of the case like the order matters. I go, what's this? He goes, that's me paying you back for making me eat my own words. Now my ego's awake. He tells me he ran it side by side with his usual stuff, and the VP9 kept making him look cleaner than he deserved. Not faster, cleaner. That's worse. Then he hits me with the line that stung. I hate how easy that thing is. So I don't even talk. I load a mag right there and step to the line like I'm trying to erase the beer. First few shots feel normal, then the VP9 settles, and it starts doing that annoying thing where it tracks back to center like it's on rails. I run the next string, and halfway through, I actually stop. Finger off, pause, because it's too consistent and my brain doesn't like it. The bottles are still sitting there behind me, like a scoreboard. I slide the VP9 back into the case, and the next one I grab doesn't feel easy. It feels like it's daring me to spend real money. My phone wouldn't shut up. Group chat buzzing like a smoke alarm while I'm trying to talk about actual guns. Bigger names, obvious picks, stuff that belonged in the conversation. Then somebody drops it again. Ruger RXM. At first I treated it like internet noise. Meme gun. Yeah, sure. Then it started hijacking everything. Carry setups, RXM, dots, RXM, range day plans, RXM. And it wasn't even the same guy. That's what got under my skin. It spread. Like a bad joke that stopped being a joke because nobody stopped repeating it. I scrolled back up and realized half the chat was basically people using RXM as a measuring stick for stuff that had nothing to do with it. Then the hard stop hit. I was mid-text, thumbs moving, talking about a completely different pistol, and the one friend who never talks about guns typed, RXM worth it or nah? I froze. Full stop. Phone still in my hand, thumbs mid-sentence, and I didn't finish the sentence. I just stared at the screen like I missed something obvious. Even my breathing changed, like my body knew before my brain did. I snapped back something sharp, trying to put it in its lane. Immediately, a buddy replied, that's why it's weird. It keeps replacing other conversations. I shut the chat off, and 10 minutes later, I'm right back in it, asking where they even saw one, like I already lost the argument. The Glock 19, Gen 5 sat there like it always did. Plain, boring, almost insulting. Like something I was supposed to be past by now. No wow factor. No sexy lines. Nothing to brag about. And that's why I kept telling myself I was done with it. I handled newer guns, cooler guns, stuff that looked better on camera and felt better in the hand for 10 minutes. I rotated through This Is the One like it was a hobby. Every time I moved on, I felt proud of myself, like I graduated. Then the same thing kept happening. Pack in a bag, I'd lay out whatever hot new thing I was excited about. And without thinking, my hand still went to the G19 Gen 5. Not because I loved it, because my brain trusted it before my ego got a vote. And the second I noticed what I just did, it pissed me off. Like catching yourself calling an X when you swore you were finished. I didn't choose it once, I kept ending up there. Nothing else stayed as consistent when I was tired, rushed, irritated, or trying to prove something. The Glock didn't impress me in one big moment. It just refused to fall apart on the small, ugly moments. So yeah, number one is the Glock 19 Gen 5. Not because it excited me, because it outlasted me. That range clip still pisses me off because it wasn't a fluke. It was proof that safe pick doesn't mean best day, and confidence doesn't mean a damn thing when the timer starts. The last handgun on this list earns the spot for a reason most people ignore, until it smacks them in the ego. And yeah, it sounds obvious on paper. In my hands, it didn't feel obvious. It felt like a problem because after all the shock and all the, okay, that's impressive moments, I still walked out with one doubt I can't shake. Not about the guns, about me, about what I default to when I'm tired, rushed, or irritated. I'm Steve. And that little doubt, it followed me out to the parking lot.